Hi and welcome to another episode of Häkel Gold with me, Nicoletta. Today we'll crochet a Tunisian crochet market bag together. You'll need some sports weight cotton, a wool needle, scissors and a 5mm Tunisian crochet hook, as well as 2 stitch markers. And we'll start by chaining 44. We're starting with the foundation row, and that means that we will insert our hook in the second chain from hook and pull up a loop, and repeat that for every other chain until we have as many loops on our hook as we had chained at the beginning. We're now done with our forward pass, and now we work off all the loops. And we'll start by chaining 1 to work off the last stitch, and then we'll continue with a yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we will repeat that until we have only 1 loop left on our hook. The upper part and the handles are worked in Tunisian reverse stitch. So we turn our work that we can see the back, and then we look for the back vertical bar of every stitch. And now we'll insert our hook from right to left under the back vertical bar of the second stitch from hook and pull up a loop. And do that for the next stitch, always from right to left under the back vertical bar of the next stitch. And you repeat that until we have only 1 stitch left, because this one is worked a little bit differently. So we reach the end, and now we'll insert our hook from front to back under both vertical bars of the last stitch of the row and pull up a loop, and then we'll work off everything as we did before by chaining 1 and then yarn over, pull through 2 for every loop on our hook until only 1 loop is left, just like we did in the foundation row. Altogether we need 3 rows in Tunisian reverse stitch now, and so that means that you'll crochet another 2 rows in Tunisian reverse stitch, and then we'll continue with the first handle. We'll place our stitch markers, and you'll count 14 from the right side and 14 from the left edge, and place your stitch markers in the 14th stitch from every side. So in the center you should have 16 stitches if you did everything right. Perfect. Now start your row with the reverse stitch. Just work simple reverse stitches until you reach the first stitch marker, and work another reverse stitch in the stitch where the stitch marker is placed and the one that comes after that. Alright, remember when you reach the stitch marker that you work another one in Tunisian reverse stitch, and then you'll continue by working Tunisian slip stitches, so you don't leave the loop on your hook but you work it off by pulling the loop through it. And you'll continue to do these slip stitches until you reach the next stitch marker. When you reach your stitch marker, your second one, you'll work that as a slip stitch as well. And after that, you'll continue working Tunisian reverse stitches, like as at the beginning of the row. And remember to work the last stitch of the row a bit differently by inserting the hook under both vertical bars and pull up a loop, and then you'll work off every reverse stitch as you know it. And when you reach your stitch marker, you have to replace the space that you left from the slip stitches, and you'll work 16 chains now. Just chain 16. And the 17th, you pull through the next reverse stitch, just like a normal return pass. And then yarn over, pull through 2 again until the end of the row. The next row you'll start by working reverse stitch again, and when you reach the chain from your last return pass, you just continue by pulling up loops as if you would work another foundation row. And you do that for every chain. Pull up a loop. And when you will reach the next reverse stitch, just continue working reverse stitches until the end of the row, like in the normal row. And for the return pass that follows, it's quite easy. You just work it off like every other return pass. Yarn over, pull through 2 until the end of the row. You work another 2 rows of reverse stitch, and then you'll finish your upper part and the handles by working Tunisian slip stitches as I showed you before. Insert your hook as if you would work a reverse stitch and then pull through all loops on hook. Great, we finished the first top part of our market bag and the first handle. And now you can count your stitches. You should have like 43 stitches now, because one gets lost by binding off, and that's perfectly right. And then we can continue by working the mesh. Alright, so we finished the first handle, and now you gotta join your yarn in the first stitch at the right edge. And because we work with Tunisian double crochet now, you have to work additional chains. So you chain 2, Then yarn over 3 times, skip the next 2 stitches and insert your hook in the 3rd stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Again, 3 times yarn over, skip 2 stitches and insert your hook in the 3rd stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. You see that you have these additional 2 yarn overs to replace the skips. And you'll continue in this manner until the end of the forward pass. 2 yarn overs, skip 2 stitches and insert your hook in the 3rd stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. For the last stitch, you do the same. You insert your hook in the last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we'll continue with the standard return pass. That means we'll start with the chain 1 to work off the last stitch, yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops to work off the additional yarn overs, and again we continue until the end of the return pass with yarn over and pull through 2, and we'll treat the yarn overs like a real stitch. Great, you just finished your first row in mesh stitch. From now on we will continue working front post and back post Tunisian double crochets. The first stitch is always the same. It's replaced by 2 additional chains, just like in standard crochet. Now your 3 yarn overs. Yarn over 3 times, insert your hook from front to back and again to front around the post of the next stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. That's your first front post double crochet. Now 2 yarn overs to replace the skipped stitches. 3rd yarn over and now the back post. From back to front to back around the post of the next stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. If that's too fast for you, just slow down the speed in the video, the bottom right corner. So now you continue by alternating front post double crochets and back post double crochets until the end of the row. Here you see the back post double crochet, for the last stitch you insert your hook in the upper part of the last double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and then work standard return pass, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2 until the end of the row. From now on we will have a 2-row repeat, and this was the first row. So in the next row you will start with a back post double crochet, then work a front post double crochet and then alternate these 2 stitches again. So again, let's start with 2 chains, chain 2, yarn over 3 times and then insert your hook from back to front to back around the post of the next stitch. Pull up a loop and yarn over, pull through 2. Now the front post, yarn over 3 times, insert your hook from front to back to front around the post of the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You do this until the end of the row and then work the standard return pass. So when you have finished this row, you will continue repeating the last 2 rows that you worked, alternating these 2-row repeat 14 times. And then we'll meet again to work the second handle of our bag and join the edges. So when you have finished these another 14 two-row repeats, we have to add the other handle and the upper part of the other side of the bag. And now we will start pulling up loops from our last return pass, just as if we would work another foundation row. Insert your hook in the return pass from the last row and pull up a loop. Do this again. Then pull up a loop from the next double crochet, and then again pull up 2 loops from the return pass, from this chain, from the return pass of your last row again. Then pull up a loop from the next double crochet, and so forth. So at the end you should have 43 loops on your hook. After finishing this foundation row, you continue just as you did at the beginning. So you work 3 rows in reverse stitch, then comes the row where you identify where you form the handle, another 3 rows of reverse stitch and the binding off. Then your bag is nearly ready. Here I show you how you block the bag if you want to make it a little bit more neater and beautiful. So, and then we will meet to join the edges. Okay, let's, you can see that I already prepared the first edge, and I'm in the process of joining the edges here on the second side. Insert my hook, and I work the mattress stitch here. But if you want to, you also could use single crochet or slip stitches. That's just a matter of taste. And then weave in the ends properly. Congratulations, and now you're done with your first Tunisian crochet market bag. I hope I see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, have a good day.